home, a place of residence, a dwelling. For some, a place of safety, retreat, and comfort. For others, sometimes a place of uncertainty and even fear. It can be a physical place of bricks and mortar, or even a nation, a feeling. They say that home is where the heart is. You know, wherever it is, or whatever image this brings to your mind, our true home isn't here on earth. It isn't bound by our humanity, but is in truth captured in eternity. Heaven is our home. After a long trip, there's something about home that draws us in, a force akin to gravity that pulls us to itself. A satisfaction and deep joy that comes as we kick off our shoes and sit once again in the enfolding embrace of the sofa. Our eternal home, in the same way, draws us in. It beckons us closer. The Bible says that God has placed eternity in our hearts. So if home is really where the heart is, then our true home is with Him in the heavenly places. More than that, He has already prepared a place for us. The table is set, the feast is ready, and the welcome mat is out. Maybe today you feel far from home. This journey of life has taken you to places you never imagined it would, and in some way you feel like you don't even know the way back. Maybe you've wandered off the path and taken your own route, and now you find yourself lost. Maybe you feel like you're living in the consequences of your choices, fearful to return but longing to go home. Wherever you find yourself, I want to tell you something. There's always a way home. You are never too far gone that He cannot guide you back. You are never too lost that He cannot find you. There is no amount of muck that will put Him off reaching out His arms and embracing you. Jesus spoke of a son who had left home and made some rather rash decisions. In Luke 15:32, the son, he finds himself in a place he never thought he would be, a pig pen, covered in all kinds of muck and mess. Each day since he had left home, the father would scan the horizon to see if the son was returning. After some time of being away, the son longs to go home again. I imagine the images of home began to swirl in his mind, and a deep longing in his heart began to grow. The gravitational pull of home, the home-shaped hole in his heart. He decides to rise up from the mud and turn for home. And as the father looked out into the distance, as he did every day, he spotted the faint outline of his son. I love this part in verse 20 that says, "While still far off, the father came running." We may not know the way home, but as you take a step in faith, just like the father, our Father comes running to meet you. Arms wide open, longing to embrace us and pull us in. I pray that today, wherever we find ourselves, that our ears and our hearts may be open as the Father calls us home. However far we've wandered, no matter how lost we feel, whatever mess we find ourselves in, there is always a way home. You know, today, if you feel like you're lost, if you feel like you're wandering around, longing, the deep longing in your heart to run home to your Father, He is waiting for you. He will come running to meet you. And there's a team waiting on the end of the phone just to pray with you as you seek Him out. Why not call one of our team and we can stand with you in prayer? Bless you guys.